Sri A.M. Anand. We welcome you, sir, to this August gathering. Now, let's delve deeper into the life of one of the towering personalities in the Rotary world through an audio-visual presentation.
Everyone has something to give. Whoever we are, whatever our place in life, K.R. Ravindran's inspiring journey is true to his message to the world and the Rotary. Be a gift to the world. His star-spangled career in the Rotary led him to the office of the President of the Rotary International in 2015-16, thus making him the 11th Asian and the first Sri Lankan to serve as World President of Rotary in its 105-year history. Joining Rotary Club of Bandaravela in 1972, Ravindran moved on to Rotary Club of Colombo and became its president in 1987-88. SLANA, the Sri Lanka Anti-Narcotics Association, best of its kind in the island nation, was initiated during his presidency. Ravindran was governor in 1991-92, the first year Sri Lanka became a district of its own. As National Polio Trust Chair, he headed a joint task force of Sri Lankan government, UNICEF and Rotary, and Ravindran was trustee of the Rotary Foundation in 2006-2008, Director of Rotary International in 2009-2011, and Treasurer in 2010-2011. As President, he set up KPIs for staff and board, drove costs down, made transparency and meritocracy key to appointments, and introduced Global Rewards Program. Ravi travelled wide to advance causes dear to Rotary, meeting Pope Francis in St. Peter's Square, Commonwealth heads of state at Malta, world religious leaders at Salt Lake City, and many heads of nations. He executed a joint program at the UN to recognize Rotary's Women of Worth. He was conferred doctorate by the Bangkok University, Korea, and presented with keys to several cities of the world. Ravi is the founder and CEO of Care PLC Sri Lanka, the world's largest supplier of tea bag packaging, with manufacturing facilities in Sri Lanka and India. Ravi's source of inspiration is his wife, Vanna, son Krishna, daughter-in-law Nisha, granddaughter Rekha, daughter Prashanti, and son-in-law Nicholas completes the family. Sri Lanka Coast honor
movement that existed. I'm aware that reading through your notes that there were a few people who were greatly responsible for starting this club. Rotarian Rajan, Vinugopal, Subramanian, and Deepan. Now, I wonder whether Rotarian Rajan is still around here. He must be one of the few chart members left, I guess. I went through your list of projects and I just saw this. I love that program really. It gave us a glimpse of your club and really took us into the heart of your activities, and that's what really makes us. Done. Thank you. 1974, of course, was a special year for me too, because that's the year I joined the club, joined Rotary. I was just out of college, and my grandfather was a Rotarian, my father was a Rotarian. I knew nothing about Rotary. I was sent to plantations before it was required by the government to work there. They were starting a Rotary club. And they said, "We will join," and I said, "Fine," I went. And when I told my grandfather I've been invited to join Rotary, he was quite surprised. He said, you know, in my time, they never allowed the riffraff to get into Rotary. They were pretty selective about the type of people they selected. So if he knew I became president, he would have thought Rotary has gone to the dogs. But a lot has changed since then. And I must tell you, that was the first time I met Reddy Karnataka. Of course, I was a young guy standing there. He was an incoming governor. I was very impressed by him. And subsequently, I got to know him and his family, and it is such a privilege. A lot has changed in 50 years. I mean, it's not surprising because in 2005, when Rotary celebrated its centennial, already we were talking about how much Rotary has changed in the 100 years since Paul Harris started the Rotary Club of Chicago. You know, I wonder whether anyone would have thought that gloomy day in 1905 when Paul Harris got together his friends. I mean, there was absolutely no evidence of the significant day it was, because it started in the annals of volunteerism, something we had never seen. And that day was born a legend which has since moved the hearts and minds of people across the world. On that day, a single candle was lit, and that candle has now gone to all corners of the earth. And the glow and the warmth of that candle has contributed towards Rotary's care and compassion all over the world. And I guess Alleppey is one of those lights that came from that single candle. I have a friend called David Forward. He's the one who wrote that book, A Century of Service. And he compares the starting of Rotary to the starting of a river, where little drops come from a spring, or a snowdrop melts, and it creates a sort of a rivulet which starts running down, and as it touches everything, it turns green, vegetation, grass, crops, and then other streams join it, and it becomes a strong river. And a river, this tiny stream becomes a river which is moving with confidence and force, and that is, I think, what Rotary is. Rotary has blossomed into one of the greatest, if not the greatest, service organizations in the world. And it's a world which is complex in every sense. I mean, look at our world today. On the one hand, we have great democracies. On the other hand, we have great dictatorships. When I was reading about the Pakistan issue, I realized sometimes you have armies created for the country, and sometimes you have a country created for the army. You have a world advanced or full of advanced technology, and you have other parts of the world which are steeped in superstition and spirituality. We have a world of immense wealth on the one hand, and a world of stark poverty on the other hand. And in this complex world, Rotary has been created, and is created with a bond which is easily recognized in any part of the world. And it has an enviable record of an organization which acts on the principle that each human being is equally precious. No one is superior because of his caste, because of his creed, or because of his country. And once, and over the years, it has reached out to people across communities, and you can see the contributions what your club has made, and the clubs around you. I mean, the service that Rotary does in India is immense. Homes for the homeless, sight for the blind, hearing for the deaf. We have built schools, we built hospitals, we built blood banks, we built research labs. We've come to the aid of communities which have been hit by cyclones, by earthquakes. I mean, what we have done is immense by any standards. And the fundamentals on which we were built, I guess, was when we started. We started with attendance at meetings. We started with forming strong bonds of fellowship and friendship between members. That's what all this was all about. And the most important thing was they created this club where the service was delivered with vocational divergence. Perhaps the only club which started with having one person from every trade so that they don't compete with each other. And in fact, they would support each other in business. But that alone was not enough. So we started the service because we brought the business, we brought it together. We used our business skills to do service. And you may not know that there are just two areas where we were not allowed to bring people from the same sect. One was the media, and the other was religion. Now I recall once in my own club, we had a situation where the bishop was a member, and they were trying to get the cardinal of the area of the region, I think, as honorary member. And they said, you can't have two people, and then they realized, okay, one is religion retail and another is religion wholesale. So that was the extremes that we went to. But that's why Rotary mixed commerce and cause. It mixed service and friendship. And that's what brought everything together. Now the question I pose now is, these were true at that time, these were true in the formation years. Is it still true? Have we moved with the times? Has your club and other clubs like you, which has completed 50 years, are we moving with the times? You know, I was reading of an Austrian psychiatrist called Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was in a Nazi concentration camp. He was one of those who was caught by the Nazis and put into Auschwitz or one of those camps. And he's a psychiatrist and strong man. And he got the people together to keep their spirits up, and he put them into two groups. One was a group whose spirits were lifted by talking about the good things that they had gone through in their lives. Good parties together, families, the events that they had together, the businesses and so on. And another group was a group which said, this is what we are going to do after we get out of this place. Said, one day we are going to get out of this place, and after we get out, these are the things that we are planning. And afterwards, he said he found, surprisingly, it was the groups which looked forward, which survived this Nazi camp and got out into the real world alive, damaged but alive. So it seems that if we look at the future, we have reasons for survival. And if we simply look at the past and what we have done, we are just living on past glories. So it's a good time to ask you and ask us and ask Rotary, are we living in the past? Are we holding fast to what we have succeeded in those days? Instead, are we concentrating on where Rotary should be in the future? Let me give you two examples. Now I am a businessman, so I tend to talk business most of the time. In the early 20th century, there was a company called the Baldwin Locomotive. Baldwin Locomotive was the only company in the United States which made steam engines. They monopolized the trade. Every engine running on those great tracks was Baldwin's. Now in time, market changed. Baldwin fell off, and Baldwin locomotives became bankrupt. Now their problem was they thought they were in the business of creating locomotives, train engines. In actual fact, they were in the business of transportation. And that's where they went wrong. I'll give you another example. All of you, at least of my age and a little below, would have heard about Kodak. Kodak was the pioneer of films and cameras. Everyone knew Kodak. Kodak had a dominant position until the rise of the digital photography, which everyone uses now. Kodak's business model was very simple. They had the best film, they had cameras, they had related accessories. But the digital photography became popular and the demand for film declined. Kodak failed to see or misjudged that consumer behavior would shift to something which was more convenient and less costly, and the ability to move pictures from person to person online. In 2012, I think, Kodak went bust, they went bankrupt. So, as much as Rotary enjoyed great heritage in the last 400 years, with our present weekly gatherings, our fellowship, we must be cutting edge on dealing with the societal issues. We must know what is relevant and what the community needs and be able to cater to it. We must know the type of members we need who are willing to cater to such demands. All Rotary activity is not earth-shaking. All Rotary projects are not monumental. Few people can say go into Ukraine and look after war-torn refugees. Few clubs can say eliminate cervical cancer. Few clubs can build dams which provides water for the whole city. There are some which do it. Few clubs can eradicate malaria. There are some clubs in some districts that do it. But not everyone can. Nor are you expected to. Most clubs, their service is destined to do work in a small and in a humble manner. That's okay. That's all right. Too often, we think charity is only about donating large sums of money. More money you give, we think which is better off. Particularly if we give the money to economically disadvantaged, we think we have done the job. Charity, in its truest form in my view, includes giving not just money, but also giving with our hearts, our minds, our talents, our energies. Charity is enriching all, whether it's rich or poor. Even the rich person can be enriched by charity. An act of charity by itself, again, doesn't make a great program. The charity that we do, the philanthropy that we do, the service that we do, must be appropriate to that hour, to that need, to what is wanted. I was reading of a person called Dr. Ernest Sironi. He was a world-renowned sort of economic development expert. And he says how in his early days he went to Africa to do service projects. When he was just 21 years old, he went to Africa and he found they were really not helping him. And they were thinking, what the hell, I've come all this way with my people from Italy and they are not taking interest. He said, okay, I'm going to show them what service is all about, what they can do for themselves. And he brought his own group, he tilled the land and he planted tomatoes. He put in the fertilizer, put in the water, and it prospered. Tomatoes came up. The Africans really didn't help. And when the tomatoes were ripe and bright, the hippos came from the river. 10, 15 hippopotamus and ate up the whole field. And the Africans sat on the side and nodded their heads and said, see, this is why we don't waste our time. He says it was a good lesson to me, that we must do the charity that is needed and take it into account the ground situation. Do we need money? Of course we need money. Without money, nothing will be done. But I can tell you, like any business project, money is the easiest thing to find if your project is good. I saw in that slide about the schools project in Sri Lanka. That cost $12 million, which today's money is 95 or 96 crores. When we started, we had 1.5 lakhs in our bank. And when we met, we said, how are you going to find the money? We said, we'll find the money. And we found the money just being transparent, open in our expenditure, showing people the money will be trustworthy. I recall walking into Standard Chartered Bank, and I told the Canadian manager, I didn't talk, I wanted money. I told him, how would you like your bank to be known in 25 schools? How would you like savings books in every child's hand, more than 25 or 30,000 children? How would you like piggy banks, which only have Standard Chartered Bank, and parents putting in money for their children only in your bank? Imagine the new clientele that is growing. He loved the idea. And he said, so what is the catch? I said, the catch is we need some money to build these schools. And he said, how much are you looking for? I think he thought I would probably ask for about $100,000. And I have learned in these things, if you ask for $100,000, he'll probably give me $50,000. So I told him, without batting an eyelid, I said, I want $1 million. He almost fell off his chair. And he said, you know, it's a lot of money. I said, yeah, 25 schools, 30,000 children, all only knowing Standard Chartered Bank. You'll be a partner with us, Rotary, Standard Chartered Bank. I do have to change for us, what the logo would look like. He said, let me come back to you in 2 or 3 days' time. And I was pretty sure I would get at least $500,000. 3 days later, he called me, I spoke to my bosses in England, and they have confirmed that they will give you $1 million. And that set the whole project off. And in 11 months, we collected $12 million. Put the money in fixed deposit, and the interest from that supported the engineers, etc., which we hired full time to build this whole thing. Was it easy? No, we had our problems. I know at the end of, when the schools were coming up, because we were so transparent, the money we were getting, it was on the website, this is the money we received, this is the money spent. The contractors came and met us from 3 of the schools in the eastern side of Sri Lanka and said, you know, you're putting all this on the website, the LGT is now asking for 10% of it, because that's the way they operate. Any business done here, 10% was good to them. So we met, our committee met, we spoke to our donors and said, this is the way business is done here. This area is controlled by LTT, Kenyan Tigers, and if you don't give this money, they won't let us build. And donors very reluctantly agreed. So we told the contractors, all right, we might consider this. Then I thought about it, and I called my committee and I said, why the hell should we give money to these people when we are wasting money to do charity? They also should contribute, they also should be part of it. And we said, no, we are not giving you this money. If you force us to, we will withdraw this project. We'll get out of this. You know what? Maybe a week later, I had a call on my direct line. He said, Mr. Ravindran, I said, yes. I said, I'm speaking from so-and-so, one of those leaders there. You are withdrawing the legitimate money due to us. And I said, look, I haven't done anything, that's my committee. No, you know, you are the one responsible. I said, no, it's not me. And he said, you know, this is the way we do business. I said, I'm sorry, you know, committee decided we can't do this. We will withdraw from this project. And then he said, no, you can't withdraw. Our children need these schools you're building. They're nice schools. We want you to build it. But you just give us our 10%. Then I said, no, it's going to be difficult. So he told me, Mr. Ravindran, you know, I was a trustee then of the Rotary Foundation. We know you travel a lot. You must understand that we can get you anywhere. You know, that was a straightforward threat. And I'm not a hero, I just went cold. And then I told him, I said, you know, Rotary is in 200 countries. And you touch a hair on my head, at that time I had hair. I said, your funding will get cut off in every country in the world. I guarantee that I would have found out. Of course I bluffed. If John Hugo was told I got killed, everyone would get a nice letter saying so-and-so got killed, bad luck John, but deepest sympathy never was any closed. But I can tell you from that day, they left us severely alone. And we finished the school without paying anything. So sometimes, these are the types of problems that you face in doing your Rotary service. And you just need to stand up and do it. So, I would tell you, look at your next lot of years with single-minded commitment to advance the cause of Rotary in your region. Mix commerce with cause. That's a great way. And I've traveled around the Rotary world and I've seen that we do what governments cannot do. We have the capacity to bring solace to so many. We can be creative, we can have impassioned leadership that Rotary can show. We can change communities from uncertainty to resolve, from apprehension to determination, from fear to hope, from a hopeless situation to a hopeful situation. So my friends, as I come towards the tail end of the presentation, look at the next 50 years full of the prospects that your community has. Understand that the first chapter of your the last chapter of your first volume is over. You are now starting the second chapter or the first chapter of your second volume. First chapter of your second volume. It sits before you. The pages are empty. Your pen is ready to write. And I ask you, what are you going to write now? Are you going to write about generous deeds, of ambition, of responsibility, of work done well, of a life well lived? Or are you going to write of day in, day out, same thing happening, each one alike, unremarkable in their coming, hardly noticed in their passing? So that's the choice you have. And remember, every moment of our lives, every page we are given to write in life and in your book is a gift. I always say that each day could be the last day of your life. We have no idea when tomorrow will come, and if it comes, it's a gift. And each one has a choice to make. A choice, as Martin Luther King said, whether you want to work in the light of creative imagination, or you want to work in the darkness of destructive selfishness, selflessness or selfishness. That's the choice you have to make. You can live, the choice that you have is whether you want to live by yourselves, by ourselves alone, or you want to live in your life and include others. Rotary gives us that choice. Rotary tells us each day of our lives, every morning when you wake up, Rotary reminds us that God has returned the soul back to our bodies and that today is another gift. And tonight I ask you, what are you going to do with those gifts? What are you going to do with the gifts you have been given and with the gifts that Rotary has given you? That Rotary reminds you every day that when you choose, you can choose to be selflessness or you can choose to be selfish. You can give or you can keep. You can live life values the way our parents taught us when we were learning to walk and to talk, and you can live life richer. Rotary is giving you that gift, and Rotary gives you the gift in the same manner that you choose to become a gift to the community, even as you serve your community, as you serve Alleppey and the people around, in your own way, in your own pace, as you sing your own song. Good luck, and thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your remarkable words. Sir, I request you to kindly remain on stage. So we are truly honored by your presence on this significant occasion, and President Rotary Haran Babu and Organizing Chairman Rotary Nalin Kumar would like to express our gratitude by presenting a souvenir of our Golden Jubilee celebration.
Our District Governor, Dr. G. Sumitran, has consciously supported our club. Allow me to share a brief introduction of Dr. Sumitran before inviting him to the stage. District Governor, Major Donor, Dr. G. Sumitran, an active member of Rotary for over a decade, has left a significant mark alongside his dedicated role as one of Kerala's top cardiothoracic surgeons. He completed his MBBS at TD Medical College, Alleppey in 1989, followed by an MS in General Surgery from Trivandrum Medical College in 1997. His expertise further expanded when he earned his MCH in cardiothoracic surgery in 1999. On April 7, 2007, World Health Day, Dr. Sumitran established the Padmavati Medical Foundation named after his mother. His leadership as chairman and chief cardiothoracic surgeon at the hospital showcased his compassion, offering medical care to people regardless of their economic status. He's made an impact by performing numerous free heart surgeries in collaboration with charitable organizations. Dr. Sumitran was the chairman of Fire and Hridayathalam and Vismayam. He took on the leadership of RI District 3211 for the year 2023-24. Dr. Sumitran is married to Dr. Smita Sumitran, the Managing Director of Padmavati Medical Foundation, and the couple is blessed with a son and 2 daughters. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming District Governor Dr. Sumitran for his address.
Good evening, friends. Beloved President of Rotary Club of Alleppey East, Rotary Haran Babu and First Lady Hindu, our Honorable Chief Guest today, past International President K.R. Trivindran, Galaxy of past District Governors, Council of Governors of 3211 and 3202, members of Rotary Club of past presidents and members of Rotary Club of Alleppey East and other members, Rotary leaders, friends. It is my privilege as District Governor to address you all in this great Silver Jubilee celebration of this great club, Alleppey East. I congratulate President Haran Babu and the organizing chair Anilji and all other club members for organizing this 50th of this year celebration. In this this is actually the beginning of the centenary celebration. We are about to see how they are celebrating this year all. And in this last 50 years, the club has contributed a lot for the well-being of the society. We started with the shelter in SD College, Alleppey, and so many projects has contributed. The contribution-wise, there are 9 major donors and has contributed more than 1.5 lakhs of dollars to Rotary. And this is a balanced club of fellowship, fun and service together. Right now, I heard all of witnessed the great speech by our national president. I was the president of my club, Karnataka, at that when he was international president. At that time, the theme was be the gift to the world. So all Rotarians and all people in the world are advised to become a gift to the society, and he made enthusiastically in a great way at this time. And now we have traveled from this be a gift to the world to create hope to the world. Our international president right now, President McKinley, has made very interesting message that create hope to the world. The coming years is a very wonderful period for everyone, and catching hold of that theme, we have organized our district project, Satrangi, Chairman is here, Miraji, and through this Satrangi, we are addressing all the health issues, 7 health issues of our world is witnessing. And there is a definite solution for all of the things we are facing in the world. So we need not worry about the future, because future is very fruitful in the coming years, in the coming future. So, and regarding Rotary also, so many changes is happening as our President, past President Ravindraji said. In the last years, the mantra of Rotary, not only Rotary, most of the organizations is diversity, equity, and inclusion, and belonging. So, if we can make this diversity into our hearts, and making equity of everyone, equity for everyone, and including all the people together, and make a happy life throughout, and feeling of belongings comes. So with this mantra of DEI, any organization, every organization, not only Rotary, but all business organizations will do that we are witnessing in the coming right now world. I was with the association, so power of association also I want to address. I was running a hospital around the medical foundation, but I joined a new organization, not new organization, this at Aster City, Aster. So I feel they are also following that this DEI policy. So after combining this organization myself, Personal Medical Foundation and Aster City, that was so much flourishing. The thing is that they included everyone of our members to the new organizations, and their activities made us enthusiastic. same way we are working in Rotary. We are facing all the changes and so absorbing all the changes of the world. Rotary Club of Alleppey East also will flourish in the coming years. Wish you all the best, all the members of the Rotary Club of Alleppey East. Wishing a very, very fruitful year ahead, and thank you very much for the service we got. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. On behalf of RI District 3211, our District Governor wishes to present a certificate of 50 years of membership.
Like
Token of appreciation for this starting on a token of appreciation to our district government. Thank you, sir. Advocate A.M. Arif, our respected member of parliament, holds a prominent position within the Rotarians of our region. A member of the CPM party, he has represented the Arun constituency in the Kerala Legislative Assembly, winning 3 consecutive terms. Since 2019, he has been representing the Alleppey constituency. May I now invite Member of Parliament, Advocate Sri A.M. Arif, to share his thoughts.
Rotarian Sri Alleppey, President of the function, and the Chief Guest, past International President Sri K.R. Ravindran, our District Governor Dr. Sumitran, Chairman PDG Sri R. Kumar, Sri John Daniel, Sri Dr. Prashant Dekkar, and the fellow Rotarians, Sri Anil Kumar, Sri Abhishek Das, and the members who are gathered here. I would like to congratulate Sri Haran Babu and the club members to complete the 50 years, glorious years of the Rotary. Once I was doing that, Sri past International President K.R. Ravindran, I was thinking about the name is familiar to Kerala. K.R. whether he is born out of here or not. It's a familiar name in Kerala, K.R. Ravindran. Once I was thinking that Rotary is an organization, as an institution of the top class people in the society. But after all this, my thought was changed because of common middle class people and common people can come the office bearer of the Rotary International, they can serve the society very well. I am fortunate to part of the various functions of the Rotary International. Rotary International giving more shelters to the poor people. At the time of COVID, they serve more. They given to people, they had given medicines to poor people. So many charity activities that can be done by the Rotary International. Now it is a lot of work with the past presidents are here and the past presidents are here. They have taken the various charity activities, including Parinayam and so many activities. So the 50 years of glorious is very important to I was thinking about the past president when they were standing here to photograph. The system of office bearers is taking each and everybody. I think it is one year. It's a tenure of their office bearer. If it is followed by the political parties, it will be very good. So the system of Rotary International is very good. If it can follow by the political parties, most of the problems will be solved. So, the political parties, once they are acquiring the post, they will try to continue the end of the life. After all, they will try to give that post to their successors as well, the family members. So, the Rotary International is the system of taking the position of office bearers is giving the one year to the tenure is 1 year. It's a very good pattern that can be followed by the political parties. Now I'm going to further more. I would like to again congratulate Sri Babu and the Club of US, and I wish more you can do the very charity to everyone in the society. And I would like to thank you to all inviting me to the chief guest and wish you all success.
So, kindly remain on the stage. President wishes to present a souvenir as a token of appreciation. Kindly accept this. May I now welcome Chairman, Council Governors, past District Governor, R. Raghunath for his felicitations.
President Babu, distinguished Rotarians, especially our chief guest, past international president, K.R. and my dear friends. Congratulations and best wishes to the members, past and present members of the Rotary Club of Alleppey East for bringing in glory for the Rotary movement and also crossing a landmark in the history. Of course, when you wanted past Rotary International President, Rotarian K.R. I had an opportunity to chat with him. He asked me, what is the reason for me to come over to Alleppey as a chief guest? I told him, quality. This is one of the very few clubs in our district which has excelled in every aspect. Probably he believed me, and right now, after seeing the video presentation here, he is convinced of the quality of the members of Rotary Club of Alleppey East. That is the reason, my friends, I had the conviction, I had the impression to pass on the message that US is one of the very few exemplary clubs in the Rotary world in this part of the country. Once again, my best wishes and congratulations to all of you. When you speak of quality, I remember a very small incident which happened in the early 80s. You know, a very big computer giant in the 1980s which brought out personal computers. It's an American giant, IBM. When they wanted to source parts from different parts of the country, they gave a contract to a Japanese company. They wanted to buy 10,000 pieces of one particular component. They specified that out of the 10,000 components, they will accept only 3 parts as defective. Only 3 parts as defective. the Japanese won the contract, they manufactured the product, and finally they sent the consignment to the United States with a special note. We Japanese people fail to understand the business ethos of your company. We have manufactured 1,000 pieces, but we have specially manufactured not for use, just for contractual obligations. When you speak of quality, is there any defective parts in this club? Is there a defective component in this club? Never. Whenever you come across a Rotarian of Alleppey East, you can proudly claim that you are one among the most dedicated individuals from this part of Alleppey, or from any part of the Rotary world. With 100% conviction, I say, my dear friends, you are a different breed. I'm not trying to flatter you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have dared to contact K.R. Ravindran to be here as your chief guest. That is conviction. This is what Japanese philosophy says, you believe in quality. But when you complete 50 years of your existence, the journey, as our past international president mentioned, it is all the more difficult. You heard the story of Kodak. In 1970, they have invented the digital camera by a gentleman called, what is his name? Stephen Sasson. He was the inventor of digital camera. But unfortunately, they didn't want to launch the product, just like he mentioned here. They were afraid of losing the market. You are not afraid of losing your market, because in this world of Rotary here in this community, you have been inducting members who have the ability to adapt to different requirements of the society. Your brand, the perception about your brand, the Rotary Club of Alleppey is very much in demand. That is the reason why your membership now stands at 70 plus. But at the same time, the leadership also, you adhere to quality leadership, just like Haran Babu. Before a month, I had an opportunity to speak with him. He is a very, very impressive leader with the capacity to bring again laurels for your club in this 50th Golden Jubilee year. I wish you all the best. You express you concentrate on adaptability, you concentrate on leadership quality, you concentrate on brand image, and at the same time, please concentrate on innovation. Otherwise, the journey will be very difficult. I am sure with the kind of genuine Rotarians, honest Rotarians, it will definitely be achievable, and we all will be. I don't think I will be able to attend the 75th anniversary Jubilee, 75th Platinum Jubilee celebrations of your club, but many among the audience will definitely be able to do that. All the best for celebrating the Platinum Jubilee and also the centenary year in 2074, right? That's it. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words of appreciation and inspiring address. President wishes to present a souvenir as a token of appreciation.
Next, let's invite Rotary World Fund Management Committee member, Arch Club Society member, Dr. John Daniel, for his felicitations.
Good evening, friends. Good evening. What a beautiful evening I am addressing you when all of you are gathered here to celebrate a remarkable milestone in the history of Rotary Club of Alleppey East. That is 50 golden years of service to humanity. 50 golden years of putting smiles on the less privileged faces. And 50 golden years of wiping the tears of so many, 50 golden years of camaraderie, friendship, fellowship and whatnot. Well, dear friends, I would like to profusely congratulate the chairman, Anil Ji, for the magnificent organization of this, organizing this Golden Jubilee celebration. And the lucky president, Rotary engineer Haran Babu, all the best for you. Well, dear friends, this is the time. I will remember that during this Golden Jubilee celebration, you brought the giant of Rotary to this place that is none other than past international president K.R. Ravindran. I do remember I had to influence him through Vanadi Madam to get him as a chief guest for my conference. And I do remember that I handed over my first AKS check to this great man. When I became the AKS member, during my conference, I handed over the check to the then chief guest, PRIP K.R. Ravindran. So you have brought it a surprise that you have brought him as the chief guest and all that will end up well. Well, as you all know, Janus, the Roman god. January is named after Janus, the Roman god. It has got two words, one facing to the forward and one facing to the reverse direction. And all these 50 years, whatever we have done, this is the time we should sit and think back. Whatever we have done, all those who are not with us now, those founder members who are not with us now, recollect the step by step how they brought this club forward to do so much of good to the world, good in the world. And dear friends, this is the time we should be thinking of the gift our PRIP, the then RI president, gifted to us through the theme, Be a Gift to the World. And this is the time when a lot of uncertainty, wars on one side, floods, earthquake, pandemic, whatnot. It's a lot of uncertainties, and this is the time when people started valuing the free gift and people have become so generous that they share their gifts to one another. And this is the time, all the 50 years of whatever you have done, you have to put the collective energy, put together the energy for this 1 year, that is the Golden Jubilee year. I tell you, this Golden Jubilee year, you have to leave a signature. Maybe all the past years, all the Rotarians stood and clapped when each president stepped down after 1 year. But this is the year Engineer Haran Babu, when he stepped down, the entire district should stand up and clap for Rotary Club of Alleppey. And I know the inherent potential, if you are able to tap out the potential of each and every member here. If you are able to identify their potential, if you are able to put it together, you can go for a cancer hospital. You can go for a dialysis ward, independent dialysis ward with maybe 25 or 50 dialysis machines, because dialysis is the need of the hour. So many are not even able to afford one dialysis. And dear friends, this is the time, as you know, this is the time. I remember all those people, you can see, go to Kottayam, Tiruvalla, Kumbaran, all those places. So many palatial houses are kept for sale. 30% of the youth are leaving the country and they are not coming back. And 15% of the youth, they don't come to attend the funeral of their parents, I tell you, dear friends. And this is the time we should think that there is no use of keeping an amassing wealth. Live today, be happy today, and make others happy today, not tomorrow, dear friends. And Alleppey is Rotary Club of Alleppey has a huge responsibility. And the demand of this Golden Jubilee year is so huge, Engineer Haran Babu, I tell you. Because you have him, the Pastor I President K.R. Ravindran, the chief guest, and you have a great duty to prove that this Golden Jubilee stands to be a distinct and different year from whatever Rotary Club. I know 9 major donors and a second level major donors I hear from this club. I asked them to be an AKS member this year. Please, I request you, I need a person who is so generous, and I am sure that you are going to, Alleppey East is going to have an AKS member this year during this Golden Jubilee year. He is a person with a lot of commitment, and we are the first major donor. Sabu Joseph is from this club, and 9 major donors and 2 second level major donors. 100% LPHF club, I tell you, you are the people who can make it more than any other club in this district, as you know, as it was housed by PDG. This is a club which has done, it stands at the forefront of our district 3211, and your duty is great. Well, I wish the very best for you during this golden jubilee, in service to humanity, in friendship and together. May this club remain strong and be a stronger and bolder club, leaving a legacy with a signature project. I will tell you, a cancer hospital, only you will be able to do it. This is my dream. Satrangi, the project chairman, Meena John, is there in front of me. And that's a beautiful project envisaged by our governor district. It's not for the governor or the Satrangi chairman. All those faces, all those who are saved, just as part, just take an initiative. It is going to happen for sure. All the best for you during this golden jubilee. Wish you the very best. May God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please remain on the stage. The President wishes to present a souvenir as a token of appreciation. Kindly answer the same.
To commemorate this joyous occasion, we have prepared a special bulletin. I request Editor Rotary Andovichan, PDG Shashikumar, AG Rotary Advocate Anita Gopulma to kindly come to the stage. I request Rotary Andovichan to present it to PDG Shashikumar, who will do the honors of releasing it by giving the first copy to our one and only Lady President, Assistant Governor, Advocate Anita Gopulkumar. Past District Governor, Rotary Shashikumar, to deliver a few words.
President of Alleppey East, Dr. Babu, Mr. Governor Dr. Sumitran, the Chief Guest, First RI President Dr. Ravindran, Alex of past District Governors from 3211 and 3201, Assistant Governors, my dear friends in Rotary, and brothers and sisters in Rotary. Rotary Club of Alleppey East in the Yamada Varshiga Charangi. ക്ഷണിച്ചതിനുള്ള നന്ദി ഞാൻ രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുകയാണ്. കൃത്യം 2 വർഷങ്ങൾക്ക് മുമ്പ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ക്ലബ്ബ് റോട്ടറി ക്ലബ് ഓഫ് കൊയിലോൺ വെസ്റ്റ് 50ാം വാർഷികം ആഘോഷിച്ചു. ഒരു ക്ലബിൻ്റെ 50 വർഷം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വളരെ ഡെഡിക്കേറ്റഡായ പ്രസിഡന്റുമാർ ആ ക്ലബിനെ വളരെ വിജയകരമായി നയിച്ചതുകൊണ്ട് മാത്രമാണ്. തീർച്ചയായും റോട്ടറി ക്ലബ് ഓഫ് Alleppey ഈസ്റ്റിന് അഭിമാനിക്കാം. കഴിഞ്ഞ 50 വർഷവും ഈ ക്ലബിനെ നയിക്കുവാൻ വളരെ എന്തൂസിയാസ്റ്റിക്കായ, വളരെ സേവന തൽപരരായ റൊട്ടേറിയൻസ് ഉണ്ടായതുകൊണ്ട് മാത്രമാണ് ഈ 50 വർഷം ഈ ക്ലബിനെ നയിക്കുവാൻ സാധിച്ചത്. ഈ പ്രസിഡന്റുമാരുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ എല്ലാ റൊട്ടേറിയൻസും കുടുംബാംഗങ്ങൾ ഈ ക്ലബിന് വേണ്ടി, സമൂഹത്തിന് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള സേവനങ്ങൾ നടത്തുകയും ഞാൻ എല്ലാവരെയും എൻ്റെ ഹൃദയത്തിൻ്റെ ഭാഷയിൽ അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങൾ അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. വീണ്ടും ധാരാളം സാമൂഹിക സേവന പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾ ആലപ്പുഴയിലും പരിസര പ്രദേശത്തും നടത്തുവാൻ റോട്ടറി ക്ലബ് ഓഫ് Alleppey ഈസ്റ്റിന് കഴിയട്ടെ എന്ന് ആശംസിക്കുന്നു. ഈ 50ാം വാർഷിക ചടങ്ങിൽ ഇതിൻ്റെ ചെയർമാനായി റൊട്ടേറിയൻ ജി അനിൽകുമാർ അദ്ദേഹം നേതൃത്വം വഹിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഇതൊരു മഹത്തായ ഒരു പരിപാടിയായി മാറ്റാൻ സാധിച്ചതിൽ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് അനിലിനെയും ടീമിനെയും എൻ്റെ അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങൾ അറിയിക്കുന്നു. താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച്. താങ്ക് യു.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful words. Please stay back on the stage, sir. President wishes to present a song here as a tribute on the appreciation. And we accept the seat.
Rotary Club of Haripar Greater wishes to present a memento to our President. I request the President of Haripar Greater to come forward. To express our gratitude, I call upon Dr. Prashant Jacob, Organizing Secretary of the Golden Jubilee celebration, to render the vote of thanks.
President Rotary Haran, Chief Guest, past Rotary International Director, Rotary Cape England, distinguished Rotary leaders, invited guests, and members of the Rotary Club of Alleppey East. We have reached the end of the beginning of the one-year-long Golden Jubilee celebrations of our club. I stand on behalf of my President, Rotarian Haran Babu, and Chairman of the Golden Jubilee celebrations, Rotarian Anil Kumar Ji, to express our heartfelt gratitude to one and all on this joyous occasion. Ever since we heard and met past RI President, Rotarian Cape England, during the district conference at Camelot, he had captivated the hearts of everyone in our club. And when we were discussing who to invite, we didn't have to think twice. Then all what mattered was to get the consent from Rotarian Cape. We were all happy when Rotarian Anil told us that this great leader had consented to be with us on this occasion. Ever since he landed in Alleppey, his presence and words of wisdom has always been a motivation for us. As he said in his speech, Rotary is a gift, and it is up to us to decide what we do with that gift. We all feel motivated and inspired by your words. And on behalf of the organizing team and President Rotarian Haran Babu, we extend our profound gratitude and thank you for being with us, sir, on our joyous occasion. District Governor Dr. Sumitran has always been a well-wisher of our club, and we deem it a privilege that our Golden Jubilee celebrations are happening during your governorship. His guidance and advice has always been clinical and precise. On behalf of the President and members of the Rotary Club of Alleppey East, we extend our thanks to you, District Governor. And in his absence, I would also like to thank our MP, Sri A.M. Arif, for his words of appreciation. But I guess it's no longer a secret that Rotarian past District Governor Reginald was the bridge between our chief guest and our club. Past District Governor Reginald has always been a man of his words, and as far as Alleppey East is concerned, we can't thank you more because you have given us this wonderful chief guest to get our Golden Jubilee ball rolling. And on behalf of everyone gathered here, we express our heartfelt gratitude to past District Governor Reginald. The club and organizing committee places on record our sincere appreciation to Arts Club Society member Dr. John Daniel, who has always been a well-wisher of our club. His keen observation and suggestions have always been appreciated. His motivational speeches has become viral in the Rotary circle, especially when it comes to giving to the Rotary Foundation. We are really honored by your presence, and we thank you for being with us on this occasion. The mere presence of the galaxy of past district governors from our district and across has really made this evening very much illuminating. The very reason that you all have come just shows how much you care and love the Rotary Club of Alleppey East. This friendship is what makes this relationship between Rotary Club and our past district governors as well as the future district governors special. Words cannot summarize the sense of gratitude we feel towards each one of you. And on behalf of my president and the organizing team, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the past district governors and the leaders of the future. Thank you. Our invited guests from the district and across have always been the motivation for Rotary Club of Alleppey East. It is this friendship and cooperation that we share with each other that makes us lively and going. The club expresses its gratitude to all the invited guests in just 2 words: thank you. The club members, especially the organizing team, has worked tirelessly day in and day out under the leadership of our president, Rotary Haran Babu, and the organizing chair, Rotary Anil Kumar ji. The past presidents of the club, our senior members, are always a shoulder to lean on in times of need. As the organizing secretary, I place and record my deepest appreciation to each one of the members of my club who have supported the organizing team and has started this 1-year-long Golden Jubilee celebrations. The video presentations down memory lane was compiled by few Rotarians who had burned the midnight oil for consecutive nights. I place and record the gratitude of our club to those selfless Rotarians. This whole program was systematically compared by Rotarians Priya Tom and Rotarian Jubilee Venkadajan. The organizing team cannot thank you enough for your wonderful efforts, and please accept our word of gratitude. To all the members of various subcommittees who have coordinated together to make this evening a smooth sailing, I thank each and every one of you for your commitment and time which made this program a grand success. To all the members and families of Rotary Club of Alleppey East, all I can say to you is a big word of thank you. Your presence today itself shows the world what Rotary Club of Alleppey is all about. It's about friendship, fellowship, and service. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Prashant. And now over to the President. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly rise for the national anthem.
Shama
meeting is adjourned for fellowship and meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request all the members of Rotary Club of Alleppey to come on the stage for a group photo. With that, we are signing off.